Drama to the beautiful game.
Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches.
Well, the Gatemen have had a base runner in every inning so far. We move into the top of the fourth now. John Topa will lead us off, and then it'll be Blake Sable, who had an impressive solo shot to right center. I didn't know it off the bat, but you certainly did. You were telling me the whole way.
Yeah, I love that. I saw it. Could really pull that baseball out to right center field.
Topa takes called strike one from James MacArthur. That's really been his only blemish tonight. Falmouth has committed an error. That was back just in the third inning a couple moments ago. It was only a couple moments ago because Mason Fioli worked so quickly. Ground ball up the middle. It'll be a base hit for John Topa, his first in 5 games. He's finally aboard for the Gatemen. That's exactly what you want to see. He went up the middle in the second inning. He had a double play turned on him. He goes up the middle again, and it works out perfectly.
Yeah, it does. It works out perfectly. Gets on first. Now Blake Sable coming up. Hey, why don't you hit a 2-run shot this time? But the Gatemen left the bases loaded back in the third. You cannot keep doing that. That's been hurting them all season long.
Sable, the first baseman. Infield now at double play depth. Larnick holding on Topa over there at first. This first pitch is high to Sable, and he just drove a fastball way out there, out towards the light post where there's a nice osprey's nest, and you can see the ospreys out there right now. Without the blaring sun and the lights turned on.
Oh.
Wow. Sable takes strike one down at the knees. Right now, MacArthur working the eye levels. He's been pretty good at that since he gave up that home run to Sable back in the second.
And as you mentioned that, some of the lights are starting to turn on at the Gov.
MacArthur from the stretch. Sable, big cut. Takes a hand off the bat, but misses. Count now 1-2.
And I think, Connor, those Ospreys up there, there's 2 of them, probably on a date, watching a nice ball game.
Aw.
It's a nice date.
I bet. Plenty of young fans out at the ballpark tonight. MacArthur out of the stretch. Kicks and deals. Lazy fly ball into center. Charging Steinmetz. He's under it, and he's got it. That's the first out of the inning. Topa retreats back to first, and it'll bring up another rising sophomore on this team, Nate Fosnot, a little baby.
Yeah, Fosnot also learning just how hard the Cape Cod Baseball League is to have success in, and he's learning every single day. Really, really good kid. He plays a great defensive shortstop.
All of them do. When Kasser gets his time there, Ben Baird, Nate Fosnot, really impressive what they've been able to do.
Yeah, the defense usually stays the same with you when you come over to the Cape League. It's your offense that will either struggle or, in some people's cases, excel, depending on who you are and what tools you have.
It's the highest concentration of good pitchers in the country. Topa retreats back to first on a pickoff attempt.
And last summer, the Wareham Gatemen had the same situation with Nico Giratano, a shortstop who was on his 3rd stint in the Cape Cod Baseball League. A great defensive shortstop, but just could never get the offense going.
Topa runs. Hit and run. Fosnot drills this one out into center. Steinmetz chases. He makes the catch. Topa retreats back to first base. It's the second out of the inning.
But again, sometimes you can come to the Cape League and have your struggles, but teams will still draft you because of what tools you possess, and I do believe Giratano was drafted this past June.
Angelini now at the plate. Flew out to the right fielder, Bikina, his last time up. He's got a runner at first, John Topa. He's been there since the beginning of this top of the fourth. Angelini swings and misses on this one.
Another young guy for the Wareham Gatemen.
MacArthur on the mound. And Angelini pops this one up into shallow right. Bikina calls off the second baseman Daniel, makes the catch, and it's the third out. John Topa gets a leadoff single, but can't come around and score. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning, and through 3.5, the Gatemen have a 1-0 lead over the Falmouth Commodores on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists, who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority,
George Yancha.
George Yancha is the batter. Welcome back to the broadcast. Bottom of the fourth inning. Mason Fioli to face George Yancha. He swings and misses on strike one. Fioli, the big leg kick on 0-1, and he just gets the call on the outside corner, 0-2. Man, he's been placing it right where he wants it. Falmouth's hitters, for the most part, have been frozen by his stuff. Fioli's 0-2, line drive right back up the middle, ground ball for Fosnot. On to first, Sable picks it out of the dirt, and it's the first out of the inning. So the two rising sophomores putting that one away. Fosnot to Sable.
Yeah, back on the YD start for Fioli, ran into some trouble in the third. Well, he's past the third, and he's ran into zero trouble. I mean, first inning, I guess, bases loaded, but had 2 strikeouts in that inning, placing the ball exactly where he wanted to.
Here's Logan Davidson. He bunts on the first pitch. Kyle Kasser's going to try to see if it will go foul. And the ball stops right on the chalk line. It wasn't a bad idea. Davidson popped up that bunt, and he got a bit lucky that no one was able to get to it. It's an infield single.
He also got a bit lucky that the dirt is kind enough to him to make it stop right before it goes over the line. That was probably as close as you can get from our angle right here. That's what we saw. But hey, it gets the job done. That's all you ask for.
Davidson hasn't been retired today. A walk and now an infield single. Perfectly placed bunt. Here comes Marty Bikina. More of a power hitter than a bunter. Interesting to see that from Davidson. Bikina takes ball one. Davidson was a college home run derby participant. Showing he has the speed too, similar to the Gatemen's Tristan Pompey. Fioli out of the stretch. Pitch fouled off by Bikina.
I think it hit the shoe of John Putalo, the home plate umpire.
Season series is 2-1-1 in favor of the Falmouth Commodores. Gatemen have not won a game here at the Gov this season. Fioli throws over to first, not in time. Wareham won the initial game of the season series, walked off. Jacob Tobey's famous Politz can't handle the baseball. Scott Politz no longer on this team.
Uh-oh.
Fioli gets a swing and a miss from Bikina. Strike 2. Falmouth then won in the least exciting of the 4 games, 5-3 here at the Gov. Then Falmouth won 8-4 after 11 innings back on the 28th of June. Alec Boehm had a 2-out, 2 RBI single in the 9th inning. Fly ball into right, Robbie Metz under it, and he makes the catch. 2 gone. Running back to first, Davidson. And then the most recent game, all the drama here at Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field. 9-9 after 12 innings. That was back on July 8th. Josh Breaux had a pinch hit, 3-run home run in the 9th inning. So 3 of these 4 games with these 2 teams this season have been decided in the 9th inning or later. In the season series, Wareham has used 15 pitchers and Falmouth has used 11 pitchers through 4 games. I mean, just kind of shows what a series this has been so far. As Rutschman takes called ball 1. That's a lot to digest. I mean, it's been quite the season series.
That's what you ask for as a broadcaster, to have something to talk about, but as a fan, you like to see the battle back and forth.
Ground ball just goes foul down the third base line.
But if you're the Gatemen, you want to win this game right now, because coming back here to this field brings back the 8-8 tie memories, and you were 1 out away from escaping out of here with a win.
Hyannis plays Orleans tonight. That's the team that the Gatemen are trying to keep the distance from ever since that 9-9 tie between these 2 teams. Rutschman takes called ball 2 high. I mean, it's so important to win this game tonight. 4 points in front of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are the Gatemen. They're a couple points behind Falmouth, trying to even that gap and get further away from Hyannis. Fioli throws over to first, and he almost got Davidson on the pickoff move. Still waiting on the 2-1 to Rutschman. Rutschman's from Sherwood, Oregon. He was drafted in the 40th round of the 2016 Major League Baseball draft by the Seattle Mariners. He grounds this one back up. It gets by Fioli. Kasser charges, but just bobbles the baseball. Rutschman is allowed to reach first base. He does not have much speed, but he put that ball right between Kasser, Fosnot, and Fioli. No one able to get to it.
No, that's a tough play for both of the fielders. Kasser tried to field it, but couldn't really get it out of the glove. It pops out, and now Rutschman down to first.
Rutschman on first, and on second, it's Logan Davidson. We'll see how that one's ruled. It'd be hard to give anybody a hit. It was a hit. I mean, it'd be hard to give anybody an error.
Yeah.
I don't know who you'd put it on. And Fioli now deals to Josh Watson. I mean, that's sometimes the disadvantages of being a lefty. You fall off the mound towards the first base side. I guess it helps if you need to cover the bag, but as for a play like that, a bunt down the third base line, you know, those are the 2 plays that the Falmouth Commodores have base runners on right now. It's little bunts or swinging bunts. This is strike 2 taken on the inner half of the plate. Watson against Fioli. The tying run is at first base. The 0-2 coming up from Fioli to Josh Watson. The pitch down in the dirt, blocked well by McIver. Great job keeping that one in front of him. Bounced way ahead of the plate.
And to put that 358 game versus the Harbor Hawks in perspective, the 11-inning 9-9 tie versus Falmouth here was 3 hours and 55 minutes. 11 innings.
Fioli, the lefty. The 1-2 to Watson. It gets through the legs of McIver. It almost bounces up towards us. Davidson takes third. And Rutschman reaches second. Now the count is 2-2, but still Fioli is one pitch away from getting out of this whole jam. But if he can't, now the runners are just in a closer position to score.
You don't see too many baseballs scoot under the legs of Willie McIver behind the plate. That one does. It ricochets off the fence. Spins almost onto our broadcast table.
If it went out of play, the runners might have been awarded home. 2-2 becomes 3-2. Fioli misses high. Now this is becoming a really important situation with the tying run at third, the leading run at second. It's up to Josh Watson with the 3-2 count and 2 outs. Fioli working out of the windup. Pitch misses. Couldn't tell you where. And the bases are loaded.
I like the pitch. A breaking ball going for the outside part of the plate. John Putalo, the home plate umpire, not buying it. But you did have first base open. You're facing now the 9-hitter and Hunter Steinmetz, who you struck out back in the second inning. But now the bases are loaded.
Here is Hunter Steinmetz against Mason Fioli. Takes the first pitch high over his head. While the entire Falmouth Commodores team as a group hits .240 against Wareham this season, Hunter Steinmetz comes into this game hitting .385 with a home run, 2 RBIs. He's been the Gatemen killer on this team. He fouls this one off. Bases loaded for the second time in this contest. One for each side. The Gatemen couldn't push anybody around with Willie McIver or Robbie Metz. Now Hunter Steinmetz has the opportunity. The 9-hitter wearing number 9 in red for the Commodores. Fioli, breaking ball, strike 2. Big swing and a miss by Steinmetz. Now with a 1-2 advantage, Fioli has plenty of options. Fioli with the bases loaded, out of the windup. The 1-2, kick, steals, misses, 2-2. Steinmetz the lefty against Fioli the righty. A Missouri native, a Rhode Island native. Battling here in the Cape League. Fioli, swing and a miss, strike 3. Hunter Steinmetz leaves the bases loaded. And Fioli gets out of the jam unscathed. The Gatemen still lead 1-0. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exaforest, and Bullard on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services LLC, located in Taunton, Massachusetts, for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
James MacArthur out for his 5th inning of work against the Wareham Gatemen. He's given up 1 run, a solo shot to Blake Sable in the second. Since has been unharmed, but the Gatemen have gotten a base runner in every inning. That means they've stranded 5 total, but still it's a good sign that they're getting guys on.
Yeah, I mean, you want your guys to get on base, and Kyle Kasser's done just that. Or rather, 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. And it'll be your top of your order. 1, 2, 3 for the Wareham Gatemen. And Quan 1 for 2 with a double. Like to see him get on base one more time versus MacArthur.
Quan stands in the lefty's batter's box, and he hits this one deep out to right field. Bikina out at the wall and makes the catch. So close. Slight margins keep Stephen Quan away from his first home run of the season. He's smiling as he runs back into the dugout. He thought he had all of that one.
I thought he might have gotten all of it too. Sends it for a ride, just under it. Enough for Bikina to make the catch out and right. But Bikina was looking back at the wall for a quick moment.
I thought he had given up on that ball. I guess he really just reached the wall and started slowing down. Here's Jaron Duran. Takes ball 1. Wareham lost 8-7 to Brewster last night. That was the 4th time those teams met. Season series 2-2. But the Gatemen, they took their second win against Brewster a week ago at Stony Brook Field. Jaron Duran, ground ball to Daniel. Daniel makes the easy flip on a first, and they're 2 away. Wareham leads the West Division. They're best in the West in terms of run differential. Plus 21 is their margin. They've scored 160 runs on the summer and have only allowed 139. That mark is also the best in the West. Falmouth, on the other hand, their run differential is plus 6. Not as good as the Gatemen's, but they've been doing it with the offense. 190 runs scored. That mark is best in the West as well.
And it's funny to see this offense having so much success, because last summer it was their pitching that had all the success.
Kyle Kasser takes ball 1 from MacArthur. So in terms of winning this game against the Falmouth Commodores, it's going to have to be a low-scoring affair if the Gatemen want to win it. Those are the kinds of games that the Gatemen win. They grind it out. Kasser takes strike 1. Seemed almost flustered that that one was called for a strike by John Butala.
And coming into this game tonight, the Falmouth pitching staff, most walks in the league. Wareham's the least walks in the league.
Called ball 2, high to Kasser. MacArthur trying to work a slider in there. Gatemen are out hitting Falmouth 5-4. Falmouth has the only error tonight, charged to the third baseman, Yancha. And the 2-1, fouled away. MacArthur, now a strike away from ending the inning. Not if Kyle Kasser has anything to say about it. He hasn't been retired in quite a while. Was only retired twice last night, en route to a 3-hit day. It's 1 for 1 today. And hits a ground ball to the second baseman, Daniel, here. Daniel to first. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. So the Gatemen go 1-2-3 for the first time this evening. And in the bottom of the 5th, Falmouth will look to strike back. We're through 4.5. And this game is still 1-0 in favor of the Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and Smartco Services LLC located in Taunton, Massachusetts for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and Smartco Services.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Dalton Roach is the new pitcher, the Eau Claire, Wisconsin native. Stands in, and he replaces Mason Fioli, who goes 4 solid innings. Roach has a good task to do now. Preserve a 1-0 lead. He certain has the ability to do it. And he deals ball 1 to Clayton Daniel, the leadoff man. Roach out of the windup. His 1-0 is grounded back up the middle for a base hit into center field. Roach comes in, gives up a base hit. And Clayton Daniel, that's his first hit of the night.
Just a moment ago, before we went on the broadcast, had his girlfriend's mother come up to us and say that they were coming out from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Nice to meet her.
Cold in the winter.
Yeah. She's saying that Roach likes to bass fish on the lake.
Final line for Fioli. 4 innings pitched, only 4 hits given up. 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts. And the important part, no earned runs, no runs, period. So Roach faces Langworthy here. Wareham pitchers as a whole have a 3.29 ERA this season, among the lowest in the league. Roach steals. McIver snap throw back to first. Can't get the diving Clayton Daniel. It's the 3rd lowest mark in the league, but against Falmouth, they are a whoppingly high 4.73 ERA. So Falmouth has really been making the Gatemen pitchers pay this season. Roach, swing and a miss from Langworthy. Count now 2-1.
I feel like a lot of teams' ERAs are going to be higher against the Commodores because of their offense and what they can do, especially at Gov Fuller Field.
Langworthy hitting .368 in his last 5 games. Takes ball low. Langworthy hitting from the left side. Was 1 for 2 on the day, stranded at third base back in the first inning. The bases have been loaded 3 times in this game. Neither team could score on any of those occasions. Line shot into right field. It goes straight to Robbie Metz. He hits the cutoff man, Jaron Duran. Clayton Daniel heads on back to first. So a hard hit ball for Langworthy, but he is retired.
First baseman for Morgan
So the
State,
Gatemen right now in their 5-game losing streak. You know the last time they lost 5 in a row?
Couldn't tell you. Is it before even you were here?
2015, July 5th to the 10th.
So you were working for the league.
I was, but I wasn't exactly with the Gatemen.
Must have been a tough stretch. It certainly has been for the Gatemen, but they've played in some really exciting games. They've made it very close. All of their losses. High drive out into left field. John Topa looking at the wall, chasing it. And it's going to land at the wall. Daniel gets the wave around. The throw from the shortstop. Fosnot got him. No, there's no tag. McIver whiffs on the tag. Daniel scores at the plate. How close of a call was that? Tie ball game, 1-1.
Whoa, I mean, the throw is on point from,
Texas A&M,
I believe it was Duran, the cutoff man, throwing home to McIver. It was a little off to the left of the plate. I do think Putala made the right call at home. It was a tough play, but McIver could not get the tag. That was hit on a line, the bomb.
It ends up being a double for Trevor Larnick. Heroic slide by Clayton Daniel. Now there's 1 out. Daniel scores. Larnick is at second base with an RBI double. This game is tied 1-1. And George Yancha at the plate.
And after Daniel scored, he pounded his chest. He was pretty happy he got in there safely. showed some emotion.
Another ball in the dirt, blocked by McIver. Larnach retreats to second base. One out in this inning. Jancha, the 4-hitter at the plate. And a ball game tied at 1 run apiece. A solo shot for Blake Sable. Then an RBI double by Trevor Larnach here in the 5th. Do you believe that? Just a missed tag. Roach out of the stretch. Strike 1 on the 2-1 pitch.
I have to say that was one of the more exciting plays we've seen this season. The build-up to it as the ball was hit to deep left center. And the throw, everyone was watching home plate.
Gutsy move to send Daniel with 1 out. Breaking ball, cut on and miss, strike 2. Blocked again by McIver. That one way in the dirt. Good job pulling the string there by Roach. You know, in some situations, you might say, hold up Daniel at third, and then you have 1 out, runners on second and third for a prolific hitter like George Jancha. See what he can do with 1 out and a runner on second. The 2-2 pitch from Roach. Kicks, fires. Misses down in the dirt again. All 3 balls in this at-bat have now been in the ground. To number 3, Jancha. Against number 30 in blue, Dalton Roach. From Minnesota State, Mankato. The Division II Pitcher of the Year. Out of the stretch. Looks over at second, but deals to the plate. Foul ball will do the payoff pitch again. Lights have fully turned on here. The sun just about on its way down here at the Gov. And a full crowd in Falmouth has gotten what it come to see. A tight ball game between 2 West Division rivals who have played in such close games this season. Falmouth and Wareham. Roach's 3-2. Lined into center field. It's a 1 hop in front of Stephen Kwan. No, Angelini, his throw to the plate's way off, cut off by Sable. It's an RBI single for George Jancha. Falmouth leads 2-1.
Perfect placement from Jancha. Just drops it in where no one could really get to it. Roach struggling a bit here, letting up the 2 runs. Now a totally different ball game. A 2-1 lead for the Commodores at their home ballpark in front of these fans.
Crowd's loving what it's come to see tonight. Falmouth takes a 2-1 lead off the bats of Trevor Larnach and George Jancha. Now a pop-up from Logan Davidson into foul territory. Kasser chasing. He can't make the play. Goes into the Gatemen bullpen. No one over there warming up. Tough break for Mason Fioli. Preserves the 1-0 lead. Dalton Roach comes in, and now it's 2-1 Falmouth.
No win for Fioli tonight.
I'd like to thank you for listening to this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball. Connor Federico, Jacob Toby on the call with you tonight. Davidson pop up into foul territory again. Kasser chasing the exact same spot, except it does go out of play this time. Kasser getting a nice workout in. Nate Fosnot as well.
And Roach struggled in his last outing versus the Harbor Hawks, let up 2 earned runs in a 1-inning relief appearance. Lets up the 2 earned here in the 5th.
Davidson, the Clemson Tiger, hit 12 home runs his freshman season. 286 through 63 games. Swings and misses, strike 3 in the dirt. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exop, Forrest, and Bullard. 2 outs and a runner on first.
I think that's been Roach's best pitch. So this breaking ball, it's been in the dirt almost every single time, but guys are whiffing at it left and right.
Locates it well, starts around the knees, and then the bottom falls right out.
Exactly.
Hits the dirt. And Roach faces the Michigan State Spartan, Marty Bikina. Hit .263 through 52 games this spring. Bikina, a participant in the home run hitting contest at Spillane Field. Takes ball 1 up high. Bikina was the only participant to have 0 home runs of the 6 that day.
So surprising.
Runner goes. Roach steps off. The throw to second. Tag from Duran. He got him. Late call from the umpire, Mark Delaney, but is out. George Yancha picked off at second base. Dalton Roach gives up the lead. It's 2-1 Falmouth. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Top of the 6th inning, the Wareham Gatemen taking on the Falmouth Commodores. They fall behind 2-1. James MacArthur's out of the game. Israel Fuentes is in. The final line on MacArthur: 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 strikeout. And that's what the Gatemen do. They really put the ball in play. They don't strike out pretty much at all.
No, coming into this evening's ball game, 261 strikeouts, good for best in the CCB. Best means least.
Fuentes' first pitch is called a strike to Willie McIver on the low and outside part of the plate. Fuentes from Faulkner University. I don't know, comes from California. And he deals ball 1.
His last name, Fuente, means fountain or source.
The source is 1-1, is now 1-2. Fuentes from Chino Hills, California.
Oh, LeVar Ball.
The home of the Ball family.
Fuente also means like water fountain.
Okay, very cool. Southern Cal meets Northern Cal here. McIver takes ball 2 over his head.
Obviously, that is Spanish. Coming from California, you're going to get a lot of Spanish-speaking families, specifically around the Southern California part.
2-2, grounded foul. Chino Hills just about an hour outside of Los Angeles, near UCLA.
Let it be known that I had no idea what Chino Hills even was until LeVar Ball showed up.
Me too. Fair enough.
I should say Lonzo. He was the one that started
Lonzo
this whole
showed
thing.
up. The 2-2 to McIver. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fuentes stops the LeVar Ball talk with a strikeout of Willie McIver. McIver's 0 for 3 today now, and it'll bring up Robbie Metz. Speaking of Southern California, Jacob, I have to give a special birthday shout-out to my grandmother, Joyce Milder, who lives in Los Angeles. Happy birthday, Nanny, as I grew up calling her.
Nanny. Like it. Happy birthday, Nanny.
Thanks, Jacob. Still appreciate that. Robbie Metz at the dish. Off speed from Fuentes, called strike 1, rather.
And just to go back on McIver, he's now 4 for his last 20.
Hot start. In the beginning of the season, has struggled a bit since. Metz shows bunt, pulls back. The ball is low. Count goes to 1-1. With 1 out and nobody on, the Gatemen were holding a 1-0 lead for the majority of this ball game. It's evaporated and turned into a 1-run lead for Falmouth. Scores 2-1, and Metz takes strike 2. John Topa on deck is 1 for 2 today. Metz with the bat on his right shoulder. The pitch is a ground ball right back to Fuentes. He doesn't hesitate, flips on a first. 2 quick outs for the new pitcher.
And now Wareham trails in this ball game 2-1, and if it stays the same, would be 6 losses in a row for the Wareham Gatemen. But there's still a long way to go in this ball game.
Topa stands in to face Fuentes. Liner into center field, drops for a base hit. Topa rounds first, he'll stay right there. Topa's 2 for 3 today. This is a nice little bounce back game for him. Seems like he's out of the slump.
Yeah, nicely done. Getting on base, leading it off in the 4th, and now here are 2 outs in the 6th. And going back to that last statement I made about 6 losses in a row, last time the Gatemen lost 6 in a row, back in 2013, June 17th to 22nd.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of those players have since graduated from college.
Probably somewhere in the minor league system, maybe even the major league systems.
Blake Sable misses on 1 in the dirt, strike 1. Was that Schwarber's year or was that 2012?
I believe Schwarber was 2012.
Didn't they win? Did they win the championship that year? Yes.
Yes.
That's the last Wareham championship. Topa leads off of first base. Fuentes goes to the plate. Pop up, out of play.
So in 2012 you win the championship. In 2013 you lose 6 in a row during the season, and you finish 9-33-1, last place in the Western Division.
Wow. Dating back to 2009, Jacob, 17 wins has been good enough for 4th place in the West Division. The Gatemen have 16. Sable bloops 1 into shallow center field, and it drops. Topa rounds second. He heads for third. 2 consecutive 2-out singles for the Gatemen. In the tying run, John Topa's on third base.
Sable got the same pitch as his last at-bat, but he flew out to the center fielder, Steinmetz. This time bloops it in a better position and advances Topa to third. 2 for 3 tonight for Sable. He's been strong.
So the Gatemen are 1 win away from 17. Hyannis is 4 wins away. Do you see this as maybe the season that little trend that's been going on for 7 summers ends?
Possibly, with
as Fosnot takes ball 1. I mean, in the past, 17 wins has been good enough to get you a playoff spot under the current system where 4 teams from each division make it. That will certainly be the case in the East. Harwich is ways away. from 17 wins. Fosnot takes ball 2.
Yeah, Brewster has 17 at the moment.
Okay.
Good enough for the playoff this year. But yeah, that probably will break in the Western Division.
Fuentes is 2-0. Foul tipped into the glove of Rutschman, 2-1.
And you just didn't think Hyannis had a chance about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. I mean, they have a negative 72 run differential. But
Crazy.
They're on your tail. And they're 2-7-1 in their last 10.
Fosnot awaits Fuentes 2-1. Instead, he throws over to first base. Sable dives in safely.
And we would know a bit more about the standings if Hyannis and Katuitt played yesterday, but their game was canceled due to rain.
Well, now Wareham and Hyannis have played the same amount of games this season. 2-1 down low. Fuentes a pitch away from loading the bases. Fosnot will have a 3-1 opportunity. Wide open hole on the right side of the infield, with Larnick holding on the runner Sable. Fuentes is 3-1. Fouled off, and we'll get a full count pitch. Drama rising in this game already. It's only the top of the 6th.
I'm ready. Bring it on. I love the drama.
Well, these two teams have brought it to us throughout the season. Even a 12-inning tie, in which both teams struck in extra innings, by the way, here at the Gov. But they matched each other perfectly. 1 run in the 10th. The payoff pitch from Fuentes in the dirt. Sable was running, but he'll hold up at second. The base is loaded for the 4th time in this game. Neither team has struck. They each had 2 opportunities aside. This is the second opportunity for the Gatemen. Now it's up to your 9-hitter, Nick Angelini.
Well, back in the 3rd, the bases were loaded with 1 out, and you couldn't get it done. Now they're loaded with 2 outs, and you have your 9-hitter, Angelini, coming up.
Angelini. Ground ball to the shortstop. Davidson to Daniel, and that'll do it. Nick Angelini swings at the first pitch, but leaves the bases loaded. We'll head to our Sam Corman with the score update.
Big-time scores going on around the Cape Cod League, Connor. We'll start off with the Bourne Braves at Doran Park taking on the Brewster Whitecaps. Bourne is up 4-3 in that game. The last time we updated you, Bourne was just coming off that big 4-run 3rd inning. Brewster's made a little bit of a comeback. A Justin Coons RBI double play back in the 4th, followed by a Christian Malfetta RBI single, has brought Brewster back to within 1 run. Katuitt in the bottom half of the 5th, holding on to a 2-1 lead over the Harwich Mariners. It was 2-0 Katuitt on that Kinnaman 2-run shot, but Kobe Vance with a RBI, or not an RBI, but a strikeout swinging, and on the same pitch, James McCarthy scores on a wild pitch. So Kobe Vance chasing some stuff in the dirt. And in Orleans at Eldridge Park, a big one for Gatemen fans, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks taking on the Orleans Firebirds. And that game is currently tied at 2. Also, final in YD, the Chatham Anglers defeat the YD Red Sox 4-2, so YD's now lost 2 in a row. Back to you guys.
And Chatham on a nice little winning streak. Good for them. I believe that's 3 in a row. The one I'm really looking at hard, Hyannis and Orleans. You know, in the position the Gatemen are in, they control their own destiny. You don't have to do the scoreboard watching, but we do it anyway because the Gatemen are down 2-1 right now. If Hyannis somehow beats Orleans and the Gatemen lose this game tonight, Hyannis is a game out and 2 points away from maybe that 4th place spot. 2 weeks ago, if you had told me that this is the position we would have been in, I would have called you crazy. Dalton Roach faces Marty Bikina. Ball 1 to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. 7 hits aside. This has been a fun one.
No need to call me crazy because of that. I'm already crazy.
Roach deals now low 2-0. Roach has spent his past 3 summers with the Eau Claire Express of the Northwoods League, a powerhouse back in 2016. Top 5 in the collegiate summer baseball rankings, and Bikina with a base hit into left field.
And I said before that his girlfriend's mother came up to us a couple innings ago. Did not realize the hard accent that would be spoken with, but I got a taste of it because I've never been out there.
It's basically Canadian.
I actually was gonna say that. It is basically Canadian.
The way up north. Roach, 8 starts in his Eau Claire Express career from 2014, 2015, and 2016. Recorded more strikeouts than innings pitched in all 3 of those years. And he deals ball 1 to Rutschman. By far the most impressive was 2015, where Roach in the Northwoods League dealt 55 strikeouts in 40 innings. That's unreal. Here he faces Adley Rutschman, who's 1 for 2 today. Runner goes. McIver's throw down to second. Isn't reeled in by the shortstop Fosnot. Looks like he jammed his thumb a bit. McIver pelted that one into the dirt.
Hopefully it's not the same finger that he jammed earlier on in the season that sent him home for a couple weeks.
Don Sneddon asking him right now if he's all right. Fosnot neither confirms nor denies. He just sort of shrugs his shoulders.
And that's not good.
No. Time's called now. Fosnot is hunched over. Don Sneddon throws him a baseball. I think he wants him to grab it a bit, have a little toss. He's doing it right now with Duran. Looks like he's wincing a bit. Fosnot a tough guy. I mean, most players who leave don't ever come back.
Yeah, Don Sneddon's going to go out and talk to him. I mean, he probably nicked it up again, the same finger that he hurt about 3 weeks ago. Sent him home for a little bit, and he is not going to finish this ball game.
Looks like Don Sneddon's going to pull the plug on his shortstop. Which probably means, and it does mean, Ben Baird is coming into the ball game. Nate Fosnot's night is done after Willie McIver's throw from the catching position, trying to catch Marty Bikina, breaking for second. Took an early bounce on Fosnot, and he tried to use his right hand to help catch the baseball in his glove in his left hand, and instead it just pops off one of his fingers. Might have re-aggravated something, like you said, Jacob.
And that music, that Star Wars music, adding to the dramatic effect. I was very scared for a moment.
So Ben Baird is the new shortstop, and he now hits 8th in the Gatemen order. Fosnot went 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, and Ben Baird just takes a couple of warm-up tosses from Duran. And play is called. Bikina's on second after stealing the base, with nobody out against Dalton Roach. Rutschman at the plate. The 1-1, breaking ball, misses down low.
Now you only have Jake Anchia and Tanner Dodson on the bench. Pompey is here, but he's injured.
This entire Gatemen pitching staff, the whole team, they really need some bodies right now. With a week left to go in the season. Roach hits Rutschman right in the foot. And 2 base runners on now, nobody out.
And I believe the Falmouth trainer just walked across to the Wareham dugout to take a look at his finger. But now pitching coach Jim Lawler is going to come out and talk to Dalton Roach. No outs in this inning right now, Connor.
It's got to be frustrating for Roach. His command is not on like it normally is right now. Don't see this often. Meeting between the whole team in the infield right now. It does not look like Coach Lawler's making a pitching change. He's giving a lot of advice to Roach right now. Lawler returns to the dugout. And because Don Sneddon had to take out Ben Baer, that means there's only one mound visit left in this inning for the Gatemen dugout. If you want to come back out again to have a conversation, you can't. You would need to pull Dalton Roach out of the game. Action in both bullpens. Frank German in the pen. Ground ball back towards the pitcher, Roach. Covering the bag is Duran, and he makes the catch. Good throw by Dalton Roach. That's the first out of the inning.
Good throw, but good bunt from Watson. Perfect position
Hunter Steinmetz
for the sack bunt.
Hunter Steinmetz, former Louisville Slugger, freshman All-American just a year ago at Missouri State. Was an All-Missouri Valley Conference honorable mention his freshman year. And after this spring season was All-Missouri Valley Conference second team. Big swing and a miss against Roach. On third, it's Bikina. On second, it's Rutschman. Both of these runners, Roach's responsibility here in the sixth.
And Steinmetz leads the Cape League in stolen bases with 16.
Roach, breaking ball again, strike two. Steinmetz out ahead of both of those. You mentioned he's leading the Cape League in stolen bases. He broke his high school stolen base record, Parkview High School in Springfield, Missouri. It's 72 stolen bases over 3 years. That math is breaking my head. Roach's 0-2. Kicks high. Plucked out of the air by McIver. Count now 1-2. The entire infield's in, including Ben Baer, the shortstop, who just came in to replace Nick Ganey. It's a 2-1 ball game in favor of the Falmouth Commodores. Falmouth's lead could expand. Roach's 1-2. In the dirt, blocked by McIver. That one got by him. Bikina was breaking for home already. He most definitely would have scored. Roach from the stretch. Looks at third base. Deals towards the plate. Breaking ball, strike three. That's the second out of the inning. The infielders can return to their normal positionings. That one brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exaforus, and Bullard. All three strikes seemed like the identical pitch from Roach. It was a breaking ball right down the heart of the plate. Steinmetz just not expecting any of them. He struck out 3 times today.
Yeah, I was going to say the law offices have not been kind to him tonight.
Laying down the law.
Ooh.
Sorry for the bad pun. Ball rolls onto the field now. Don't know where that came from, but a Falmouth bat boy chases it down. Don Sneddon gives him a toss, and the bat boy heads back.
I believe it came all the way over from the bullpen.
Oh, it did a little ring around the rosy. So Roach faces Clayton Daniel, a dangerous Falmouth hitter. First pitch in the dirt, blocked by McIver. Clayton Daniel, the Jacksonville State Gamecock, hit .328 this junior season, 30 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. Daniel's sophomore year with the Gamecocks was a Louisville Slugger third-team All-American. Roach, breaking ball, called strike one. That's probably been his best pitch so far. Has a ton of action, really slow compared to his fastball. Dalton Roach, talk about a great junior year. The Brett Tomko Award winner. Fastball fouled off, now 1-2. Roach, 13 starts for Minnesota State. 6 complete games, 2 shutouts, a 1.56 ERA, a 10-1 record, and a whopping 128 strikeouts. That's what the Mavericks would like to see. The Division II school in the Great White North. Roach takes a sign from McIver. The 1-2, breaking ball, ground ball, just foul. The third base line robs Clayton Daniel of a 2 RBI hit. And we'll do the 1-2 again.
I feel like this game's going to be another long one. Again, the last one, 3 hours, 55 minutes, 11 innings. Just over 2 hours now.
Roach sets before it's 2-1. He looks at third, kicks and fires towards the plate. Line shot, foul again, down the third baseline. Roach goes back-to-back with that curveball. And man, even when Daniel knows it's coming, he's still early on it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just roping that third base bag right now, missing it by inches. Home plate umpire John Putala making that call.
So we'll await the 1-2 again. On third, Bikina. On second, Rutschman. They've been there for a while. Those two led off this inning with a hit and a hit by pitch. Time is called by Daniel. 8:03 on the East Coast. Still got 3 innings to play after this one's over. Roach's 1-2. He sets, kicks, and deals. Jam shot the other way. It's heading foul. So he just misses foul twice along the left field line. This time misses on the right field line. Roach has made 4 consecutive really good pitches, but Daniel making him work. You're just waiting for a mistake at this point.
I know I'm a Red Sox fan, and I will say Dustin Pedroia is a nice player comp here. Pick your player on your Yankees or whatever team you support.
There's nobody like him.
Exactly.
He's an Altuve Pedroia type.
Yeah, he's just fighting off pitches left and right. A short, gritty, defensive second baseman. He won't give up.
He'll await the 1-2 from Dalton Roach. Kicks, fires, down in the dirt, blocked by McIver. Bikina's caught up, and he retreats back to third. So that ball did get away from McIver, but not far enough that Bikina could take home. He's been really aggressive over there at third base for upwards of 10 minutes.
He wants to score. He wants to give his pitching staff a bit more run support. It's only a 1-run ball game here, 2-1.
Now the count is 2-2. Roach on the mound. Daniel at the dish. Blocked again by McIver, a pitch down in the dirt. And Daniel will not be fooled on the breaking ball in the ground.
William McIver doing such a nice job blocking pitches behind the plate. Last 2 were clearly in the dirt. And if they went past McIver, Bikina's coming home to score.
Bikina's on third. Rutschman on second. Watson and Steinmetz retired in this inning. Clayton Daniel has a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Dalton Roach's payoff pitch. Ground ball to the left side. Kasser fields it onto first. Plucked out of the air by Sable. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. Dalton Roach escapes his own jam. And this game is still 2-1 in favor of the Falmouth Commodores on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Claudia Chikamian for a quick game break. So the last time we were at Fuller Field, it was innings. Today is much different. It's a 2-1 game, only a 2-1 game, one-run ball game. Anything can happen. The biggest difference today has been the men being left on base. Both teams have escaped the pitchers have escaped 2 bases loaded jams and have been flawless executing that, and that's been the difference maker here. This could be a much higher scoring game, exactly like what we saw the last time we were in Falmouth, but especially Mason Fioli for the Gatemen has done a fantastic job getting those final outs to end the inning and leave those men on. And just like we just saw with Dalton Roach, they had base runners on second and third, and getting those 2 big outs to end the inning and keep the one-run game was the key here, and that's what we need to see moving forward. When I spoke to head coach Johnston early in the game, he said, we're not going to probably see what we saw last night, an 8-7 final, but just getting that close game, getting that close win is exactly what they need. So the Gatemen just need a few more runs to get this, and they should be good to go. Back to you, Connor.
Thank you, Claudia. We appreciate that hit from the sidelines. Bases have been loaded 4 times today, as Claudia just talked about, but yet it's been a defensive battle more than anything as the Star Wars music continues on. March on.
You said it earlier in the broadcast. This is going to be a low-scoring affair. And
it has to be for the Gatemen to win.
Yeah, exactly. And
or have a shot at winning.
It's 2-1 right now in favor of the home team, the Commodores. And your offense has, yet again, not been able to get going. That has been the story this whole season. Blake Sable, though, 2 for 3 today with the solo shot in the second. Kyle Cassers, 1 for 2 today with a single. I mean, not much going on for your offense. Fioli pitched really well, pitched well enough for the win, and he's not going to get it.
Derek Adams is the new pitcher for the Falmouth Commodores out of Jacksonville State, similar to his second baseman, Clayton Daniel. Adams has a 1-1 record, a 2.45 ERA. This is his 12th appearance of the season. Gatemen have seen him before. Trying to put up some damage here. Quan shows bunt, pulls it back. Strike 1 to lead off the top of the 7th. In a game, Falmouth leads at their home field. Arnie Allen Diamond at the Gov. Count 0-1. Score 2-1 in Falmouth's favor. Count 1-1 now. A big breaking ball from Adams misses. And now, despite all the clouds and humidity today, we have a bit of a cotton candy sky. Quan checks his swing and fouls this one off. Count 2-1 now. Really beautiful here in Falmouth. A nice mix of pink clouds and blue clouds off on the first base side. That's what Cape Cod baseball is all about. 1-2, misses high to Quan. Now the count's even at 2. Derek Adams, number 31 in red. Faces 51 in blue, Stephen Quan. With the bat on his left shoulder, and swings and fouls it off. Oh, how about behind us? Jacob pointing out to me. That's where the real good sunset is, but the pink mixed with blue all over the sky.
I like both skies, if you say, both versions.
2-2, fouled off again. Quan making a bit more solid contact against Adams. Count remains the same. It'll be Quan, Duran, Kasser. All have reached base tonight. 2-2, down low, barely. Rutschman put a good frame on that one, not fooling John Putala. In a season series so tight, in a game so tight, you didn't expect anything less. Lined into center, Steinmetz looks at it and makes the catch. Stephen Quan just sort of weakly swung at that one. Got good wood on the ball. He's out nonetheless.
He's made some good contact tonight, has the double in the third. Other than that,
The second baseman
has
from
flown
Long
out to
Beach
either
State,
center
Jared
field or
Duran.
right field.
Here is Jaron Duran, hitting .423 with 5 RBIs in his last 10 games. Is 0 for 3 today, but has reached base on an error. you know, that's an underrated quality of speedsters, that whenever they put the ball in the infield, it really rushes the defensive play. Sometimes you can force an errant throw or a misplay. Duran fouls this one off. Count 1-1 now. Kyle Kasser on deck. Nobody out. One out, rather. Nobody on. Connor Federico and Jacob Toby with you from Falmouth, Massachusetts. Thank you for listening, wherever you may be tonight. Ball bounces to Duran. 2-1.
The Gov.
The Gov is giving us maybe the best sunset I've seen this year, despite all the clouds.
Home of the Falmouth Clippers.
2-1 right down the pipe. Strike two. Falmouth High School isn't too. It's not exactly close. It's good 3 or 4 miles away, but I guess this is where they play their home games.
Yeah.
For football too. Adams to Duran, the 2-2, grounded to the first baseman. Adams beats Duran to the bag. Goes 3-1 for the second out of the inning. Larnick to Adams. Duran retired.
I know some people in Falmouth. Got a lot of friends here.
Well, you're not too far from here at all.
No. 20, 25 minutes. Going to high school with a lot of kids from the Cape, all different areas. I've been around these parts a couple times, Mr. Federico.
I bet. Here's Kyle Kasser. Most of these players have never been to the Cape before coming here this summer. Most of the broadcasters, too. You have an added advantage as Kyle Kasser takes ball one.
Don't believe there's any hometown kids in the Cape League this summer. There was last summer.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Dalton Roach, number 30, back for his third inning of work against the Falmouth Commodores, who lead the West Division, or are very close to leading the West Division of the Cape Cod Baseball League. The Bourne Braves currently in the lead. They're playing Brewster right now. Sam Corman will keep us updated if anything breaking happens. Ball one to Austin Langworthy.
I have some trivia for you if you would like to.
I'd love trivia.
If you'd like to take a stab at it.
I will. Langworthy takes called strike one.
What Falmouth native was traded today to the Tampa Bay Rays in the MLB?
I don't know.
He's a pitcher.
I really don't know. I'm sorry. Strike two to Langworthy, called on the inner half.
Steve Cishek.
Really? Falmouth native?
From Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Did he play for the Commodores?
Don't believe he may have played for the Commodores. Have to check on that. One of my best friends from middle school, his dad's best friends with him.
1-2 from Roach down in the dirt. Roach has struggled both in the 5th and 6th innings. Worked himself into a bit of a jam, gave up 2 runs in the 5th. Looking to bounce back here in the 7th. Langworthy is 1 for 3 today. Faces a 2-2 count from Dalton Roach, working out of the windup. Curveball misses near the feet of Langworthy, and now the count is full. That curveball works great when the hitters are swinging at it. But now in Roach's 2nd inning of work, they've probably learned to lay off that pitch. 3-2, fastball, fouled behind.
Grant Wolfie Wolfram in the bullpen for the Gatemen. Oh.
Well done.
Steve Shishak graduated from Falmouth High School.
Roach is 3-2 in the dirt. Langworthy works a walk. Good at bat by the Florida Gator.
The first baseman from Oregon State, Trevor Larnick.
Trevor Larnick steps into the batter's box. From the same high school as Willie McIver. The two are all business right now. College Park High School in Pleasant Hill, California, the home of 3 Cape Cod baseball leaguers this summer. McIver, Larnick, and Joe Demers, who McIver was one of 2 Gatemen who didn't get to face Demers last night, the Brewster Whitecap pitcher. Middle infield at double play depth. Breaking ball by Roach, misses down low to Larnick, who's right now is the holder of the game-tying RBI. Time's called. Jim Lawler walks out to the mound. This might be it for Dalton Roach, who's pitched valiantly for the Gatemen in the 5th and 6th. Canine in the bullpen as well for the Gatemen. The infielders stay where they are. So this might just be a conversation. Lawler, it seems like he's doing a bit more coaching to McIver than he is to the pitcher Dalton Roach.
John Putala, the home plate umpire, coming to break this up, but there's going to be a pitching change.
We're going to take a quick break on the Gatemen Baseball Network. On the other side, the ending of this 2-1 game in the 7th inning. Here comes Brett Canine.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information. Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today. Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, Only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Oregon State, Trevor Larnach.
Here comes the Greg Olson Award finalist, a Big West all-first teamer, and a collegiate baseball All-American third teamer. It's Brett Canine, the Gatemen closer. Not a save situation. Heck, it's only the bottom of the 7th inning, but he needs some work.
He does. He hasn't pitched in 8 days. Our Matt Feld telling us, keeping us on our toes.
Dalton Roach, his night is done. He's currently in line for the loss for the Gatemen. The Gatemen offense in the 8th and 9th hoping to tie up or take the lead in this game. Canine deals a 1-0. And now it's 2-0. So Roach had a pitch in that at bat. Canine comes in midway against Larnach. West Coast battle. Ground ball. Baird to Duran. On to first, Sable stretches and makes the play. 6-4-3, double play. A ground ball, just what Brett Canine needed when he came into this game. Good work by Ben Baird to start off that play. All his momentum took him towards third base, and he made a nice toss on the second.
And great opportunity there for Duran to show off his arm, going away from the first base bag. Slings it over there to Sable. Nice stretch from your tall first baseman. That's exactly what Canine needs.
So Roach goes 2 1/3 innings. And now, I apologize, he goes 2+ innings. Both outs here in the 7th by Canine. Yansha the new batter, and he lifts one high into the night sky into foul territory. Roach ends up giving up 4 hits through 2 innings. Same amount of hits as Mason Fioli, but that was through 4 innings. Canine, he's going to try to give up 0 hits. With his repertoire, it's certainly possible. Big breaking ball. Called for a ball. Count 1-1. That started seemingly near the face of Yansha and dropped near the strike zone. 1-1, fouled off. Now Canine, 1 pitch from getting out of this inning. 1-2 coming up. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd, a 2-1 ball game that favors the visiting Falmouth Commodores. One, 2 high. Yansha knew it the whole way. That bat never left his shoulder.
And with playoffs fastly approaching, I can only go back in my memory to when Brett Canine started Game 1 versus Bourne.
Tough loss for the Gatemen. Tough series loss. Breaking ball, ground ball. Good job by Yansha to even get the bat on that one. Yansha from Texas A&M. Played in 64 games this sophomore spring. Hit .261, 6 home runs. His .478 slugging percentage in SEC play led the Aggies. Canine's 2-2. Curveball misses. Good pitch, but just not there. Yansha from Texas A&M. His brother Sam played at Texas Tech. Little Texas rivalry, former Big 12 rivalry. A&M now in the SEC. Canine, 3-2. 2 outs. Pitch, low. Yansha works himself a walk. It's the 2nd of this inning, 1 by Roach, and now 1 by Canine.
Canine hasn't walked anyone since July 4th.
Wow.
Scratch that, not since July 4th.
I have that as his first walk of the season.
You do?
To his 13 strikeouts.
Ah.
Called strike here to Logan Davidson. That's incredibly impressive. Kanine has 3 saves this summer, and that was just his first walk.
You know, my handwriting needs to get better. My comma I thought was a 1.
All right. Swing and a miss by Davidson. Something looking off speed there from Kanine. Now he's ahead 0-2. This is where Brett Kanine is dangerous. Likes to mix up eye levels, likes to mix up speeds. He's one of the best in the country. Pitching now for Wareham against Clemson's Logan Davidson. The 0-2. Line shot the other way. Lands in foul territory, bounces off a tree and right into the hands of a young fan. Impressive catch, good instincts.
And Kanine last summer, 29 strikeouts to 11 walks, 2.64 strikeout to walk ratio.
Davidson, 2016 North Carolina Gatorade High School Player of the Year. Kanine in the dirt, blocked by McIver. Runner goes. McIver's throw down a second, out of the glove of Baird. So Yancha advances to second. Kanine still with a 1-2 advantage over the lefty Logan Davidson. Kanine waits for the sign from McIver. He gets the one he likes, sets, breathes, fires. Breaking ball. Did he go? No, he did not, say Mark Delaney. Close, the slightest of margins. Nice curveball that started at belt level of Davidson, dropped out of the strike zone. And now a 2-2. Kanine and Davidson. 2-2 pitch, misses inside. Consecutive full counts for Kanine after getting ahead in both of them to Yancha and to Davidson.
Well, he came on and got the 6-4-3 quickly.
8:30 on the East Coast. This game 2.5 hours long now. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. A 2-1 Falmouth lead. Brett Kanine. Curveball, strike 3. Good pitch by Brett Kanine. He gets out of the inning on a full count. And that will do the 7th inning. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exaforest, and Bullard. We'll head to the top of the 8th. The Gatemen deficit is 1 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Quick Cape League update with Sam Corman right now. Some big games going on. Harwich has overtaken Katuitt. They lead that game 4-2 after a 3-run 5th inning for the Harwich Mariners. A Jake McCarthy RBI triple for the Mariners gives them the lead in that one. On to Orleans, where the Firebirds leading the Hyannis Harborhawks 7-2. They have scored in the last 4 innings, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, maybe 4 in the sixth coming up for the Orleans Firebirds. Who knows? And the Bourne Braves and the Brewster Whitecaps currently in battle. Brewster up 7-6 over the Braves. Back to you, Connor and Jacob.
All good news for the Gatemen around the league right now, coming from our Sam Corman. I think he wanted to say that one as quickly as possible so he didn't jinx any scores. Great job by our Sam Corman, as always. New pitcher, Brian Gadsby. First pitch, swing and a miss on a ball that skips across the plate by Willie McIver. McIver 0 for 3 today. Here in the top of the 8th inning, Connor Federico, Jacob Toby with you. You just heard from Sam Corman. An exciting update. Soft ground ball back to the pitcher Gadsby. Makes a good throw to first. McIver is retired.
That was easily the best score update we've had this summer. Elite score update.
Elite. The new number 1, without a question. Here comes Robbie Metz. 1 for 3 today. Kicks up some dirt in the batter's box. Wants to be comfortable for this at-bat. Gatemen trail by 1 run. All it would take is a little string of hits. Gadsby misses up high, ball 1. Gadsby, the UCLA Bruin.
Teammates with former Katuitt Cavalier Justin Hooper.
Yep. Line shot up the middle, base hit for Robbie Metz. Good piece of hitting right back up the gut. He saw that pitch and he drove it exactly where he wanted to. The Gatemen have the tying run aboard at first.
A little alumnus update for the Wareham Gatemen. Dallas Keuchel going 3 innings, 3 earned runs in his first start since June 2nd. Of course, he played for the Wareham Gatemen.
Sounds like a good start for him. Or not.
I don't know, you tell me. 3 innings, 3 earned.
Oh, not great. Gadsby, ground ball up the middle. Daniel Davidson out at second to first. Got him. It's a 4-6-3 double play. John Topa's grounded into 2 double plays tonight, and that one ends the 8th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th, where Falmouth will try to put up some insurance before the Gatemen's last 3 outs on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Brett Canine back on for the bottom of the 8th inning. Falmouth has led 2-1 since the 5th. 2 runs out of the arm of Dalton Roach led to RBIs from Trevor Larnach and George Yancha. And now we'll have Bakina, Rutschman, and Watson in the 8th.
From Michigan State, Marty Bakina.
Here is number 8, Marty Bakina. Throughout the season, I critiqued his green batting gloves that went along with the red Falmouth jerseys no more. He has gotten white batting gloves. Look like Commodore's batting gloves a bit. Takes strike one. So Bikina possibly listening to my fashion advice.
Well, you did win the Best Dressed Award, media members.
It was the bow tie and nothing more.
I'll always disagree.
Called strike two, and now in an 0-2 hole is Bikina against Brett Canine.
I'll say this. We haven't had a Twitter poll in quite some time.
We haven't. We were doing those, and then we just sort of stopped. Foul ball by Bikina, now 0-2. Those were fun.
I'll start brainstorming more questions for the next broadcast.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Okay.
If there's a game tomorrow.
I actually told myself we would do it today on the way in, but...
You know, we do so much, you know, prepping before a game, for the actual game, for the call and whatnot. It's hard to remember sometimes. Canine misses the 0-2, now 1-2.
Not just the prep, it's the dunks run before that has to happen. The slushy run in your case.
I got my Slurpee today.
Slurpee, slushy, same thing.
1-2 from Canine. He breathes, kicks, fires, swing and a miss, strike three, but it gets away from McIver. Bikina hustling a first. And a good throw from McIver to Sable. Retires Marty Bikina in more dramatic fashion than it probably needed to be.
That was a close play. I knew Bikina was hustling all the way down to first, and nice throw from McIver. Get the first out.
That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exaforus, and Bullard. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Brett Canine, and that is what he's known for. 15 strikeouts to 1 walk this season. Here comes Adley Rutschman. And Rutschman takes strike one. Looks back at the umpire. John Putala doesn't love the call. Season series between these two. 1, 2, and 1 in favor of the Falmouth Commodores. Falmouth 2 wins. The Gatemen 1. The first season meeting, it was the 3rd game of the season. Canine deals ball 1. In fact, that was the first game at Spillane Field, the walk-off. Willie McIver's game-winning RBI in the infield. Sloppy 9th inning for Falmouth. Spillane just kicking those players around. The Commodores will have one more trip up to Spillane before the season ends.
Politz.
Breaking ball, called strike 2. Good pitch by Brett Canine. How about that? The 3rd game of the Gatemen season happens at Spillane against the Commodores, and the 3rd to last game for the Gatemen will be at Spillane Field against the Commodores. You're looking at me like you're thinking about it. I know I'm right.
You are. I'm thinking about it.
Swing and a miss on a curveball. Strike 3 down in the dirt. Rutschman takes off, and a good throw by McIver. 2 consecutive strikeouts. 3 consecutive strikeouts by Brett Canine.
Yeah, the drop third strike twice in this inning. Doesn't matter. McIver, nice throw for out number 2.
That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exaforus, and Bullard. Here comes Josh Watson.
And what a final 3 games it will be. Falmouth, then a home and home versus Bourne.
It's going to be exciting to say the least. Canine's first pitch, ball. This is Wareham's 38th game this season. This is Falmouth's 39th game of the summer. Wareham 3.5 games behind the Bourne Braves in the chase for first in the West. This West so close, though, as Canine misses 1-0. The West so close, it just feels like all you have to do is get into the tournament, and basically any team could escape and face the representative from the Eastern Division, which has won for consecutive years now, all Yarmouth Dennis. They have a shot at it again. Canine's 2-0, called for strike 1, hitting the outer half.
So it will be Wednesday, the 2nd of August at Bourne. Then the 3rd, Bourne will be at Spillane Field.
Day off the 4th. We've been informed it's going to be the organizational softball game. Brett Canine, strike 2 on the inside corner called. Watson was sucking in his gut, but a perfect placement by Canine.
Pencil me in as the leadoff hitter, going 1 for 4.
Why would you say you're going 1 for 4?
I think that's what I did last year.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're not trying to improve at all? Canine's 2-2, misses.
I'm trying to make contact with the baseball.
Okay.
Little League, I could not make contact, so we're trying to build off. It's why I'm sitting here with you today, sir.
I'm thinking a couple jacks for me in that one.
Wow, that's a high goal set for you.
Canine's 3-2 with 2 outs. Change up called strike 3 down the center of the plate. Brett Canine strikes out the side in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Gatemen are 1 run away from tying up this ball game. They have 3 outs to do it. It's the top of the 9th. Coming up next on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Top of the 9th. Sable, Baird, Angelini due up for the Wareham Gatemen. It's a 2-1 ball game. Wareham trails the Falmouth Commodores. And the only run on the board for the day, Blake Sable, a solo shot. Back in the 2nd inning, he leads off this inning.
Different than last night's 9th inning where you had your 2, 3, 4 hitters starting off the inning. This time you're down in the lineup, 7, 8, 9.
Well, the deficit this time is 1. Yesterday it was 3. The Gatemen had 2 runs. Just if you put the numbers together, just a little short. Sable takes a big cut and fouls first pitch back against Ryan Zefrajan. This is the 5th pitcher that Falmouth has thrown today. The Gatemen only 3. Zefrajan out of the windup from Kansas. Sable shows bunt, pulls back, called ball 1. 8 runs for both teams in this ball game tonight. Here at Arnie Allen Diamond, Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Zefrajan to Sable, who fouls it away.
I don't want to downplay what we just witnessed, so I'm going to bring it back up. Brett Canine, 2 innings, 5 Ks.
I have 4.
You have 4. Yes, 4. But still, that's very good.
It's just classic Brett Canine doing Brett Canine. I mean, he stares down hitters. An intimidating force with some great pitches. And Sable fouls back a 1-2, keeping this at-bat alive. This game tied up in terms of hits, 8 aside. In a season series where 3 of the 4 games between Falmouth and Wareham has been decided in the 9th inning or later. This could be one of those nights. Time called by Sable. Zephyrjans, 1-2. Low and inside. Sable evens up the count with his eyes. What's turned out to just be a beautiful night for baseball. Sitting about 70 degrees. My only complaint, Jacob, the humidity is now up in the high 90s. 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outer half. Sable knew it, and he walks back into the dugout. Here comes Ben Baird. Sable ends up being 2 for 4 on the day.
The shortstop from Washington.
Here's Ben Baird's
Ben
first
Baird.
at-bat. He replaced Nate Fosnot. And in the on-deck circle, Tanner Dodson to replace Nick Angelini. Angelini 0 for 3 today. Baird takes ball 1. Low from Zephyrjan, the Kansas Jayhawk. .76 ERA, 13 innings, 4 earned runs, 18 strikeouts. 19 strikeouts after the strike 3 to Sable. And Baird fouls one away, now 1-1. Crowd at Falmouth has stayed here for the most part. They want to see the Commodores come up and win this thing. The Gatemen might have other ideas. Zephyrjan breaking ball, inner half, strike 2. The lights shine brightly down on the future stars of baseball here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Baird fouls this off.
The light's shining right now on Ben Baird. Has a chance to redeem himself right here in the 9th inning after last night.
138, the lowest batting average on the team. Stands in against Ryan Zephyrjan. 1-2, low. Good work by Baird. The count's even. Hit here a pin drop right now. This is an important moment. Either team would love to get this win. The Gatemen are in danger of losing 6 straight for the first time since 2013. And Zephyrjan deals high. Full count coming to Ben Baird. Right now the scores around the league, the way the Gatemen would like it. Can they help themselves? The 3-2 popped up into foul territory. Fighting the lights, Larnick. It almost pops out of his glove, but it's the second out of the inning. He makes the catch. Here comes Tanner Dodson. He is a pinch hitter for Nick Angelini in this situation. So Ben Baird works a full count. Can't come through, though.
We'll see if Dodson can make some contact, try to get on base with 2 outs in the inning.
With Stephen Kwan on deck, really just got to get on base. Dodson has 1 home run this summer.
Now you're out of bench players if indeed this game extends, and Dodson plays center field, so it's not a problem.
The problem might be his knee. Dodson takes ball.
Yeah.
Among the league leaders in batting average. He has not been in the lineup a couple of days. And now the count 2-0. Zephyrjan probably weary about a guy like Dodson.
You have to be. Leading batter in the Cape League.
Super hot hitter. Has performed well against the Commodores this season. The 2-0 from Zephyrjan, swing and a miss, strike 1. Here in the bottom of the 9th, 2-1 count to Tanner Dodson. 2 outs, nobody on. Falmouth leads Wareham 2-1. Wareham's final hope is Dodson, number 28 in blue. And he takes strike 2.
Oh, baby. He did not agree with that.
I don't either. I don't think anybody here does, even the Falmouth fans. Dodson, instead of 3-1, now faces 2-2. Ryan Zephyrjan, out of the windup, takes the sign from Rutschman. He kicks, fires low. Count now 3-2 for the second consecutive time, but Baird popped out. Here's Dodson, the last hope for the Gatemen. He's a good one to have, though, a reliable hitter.
See what the Cal product can do here. This is his moment.
Zephyrjan's payoff pitch, line to the third baseman. Jancha makes the catch, and that's it. The Gatemen fall to the Falmouth Commodores 2-1 at Gov Fuller Field. The Gatemen have lost 6 straight for the first time since 2013. Tough ending for Wareham. Their only run came in the second inning.
On a home run from Blake Sable, one of the lone bright spots today for the Wareham Gatemen. 8 hits, the same as Falmouth. They just got one more run in that 5th inning off Dalton Roach. The RBI double from Trevor Larnick, driving in Clayton Daniel. And then the RBI single from George Jancha, driving in Larnick. That was your scores in this ball game, and Mason Fioli pitched so well. 4 innings, 4 Ks, no earned. Tough to not see him get the win. But this Gatemen team, 6 losses in a row. Tough to fathom right now. And it'll be interesting to see what head coach Don Snedden says to his team, says to our Claudia Chikamian, how they respond heading towards that playoff push.
Man, the West continues to get tighter and tighter. The Gatemen might get some favors around the league, though, in terms of preserving that spot. This is the 15th loss of the season for the Gatemen by 3 runs or less. This is their 21th loss total, and they just seems like on that winning streak they won the close games now, and for the majority over the course of the season it hasn't been happening.
What that tells me, that stat, the pitching has been excellent, but it's the offense that just cannot get over the hump. You're so close, less than 3 runs, or 3 runs or fewer, excuse me. Your offense just not been there. It does not help that Tristan Pompey is not in this lineup. Dodson has been out the past couple days with the knee. You come in a pinch hit situation, he makes contact, but just not enough to get it over Jancha at third. And Blake Sable did well today. Kyle Kasser did okay. Stephen Kwan slowing down today. Not a lot working for this Wareham team.
Well, Jacob, this is probably the toughest question I've asked this summer, and I'm putting you on the spot. You were here last year when the Gatemen won 25 games in the regular season. Now, mathematically impossible for this 2017 team. What is it that the 2016 team had that maybe this 2017 just doesn't?
They had 2 guys that could actually produce a lot more power than this offense has been doing this season. They had Gavin Sheets, who is no doubt in my mind going to be a major leaguer one day in the White Sox organization, and then Colton Shaver, who also got drafted this past season, and he led the league in home runs and RBIs, and you had 2 guys that you could count on in situations late in the game where they would produce, and both played excellent in the field, but it was the offense that just was way better than this year's offense, and the Gatemen can't do much to help that. It's a totally different roster, totally different players coming in, but they had much more power. Their OPS was much higher than this season.
Thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball as the Gatemen fall 2-1 to the Falmouth Commodores on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producers of today's broadcast are Nick Veronesi and Matthew Weasel-Thayer. Our sideline reporter is Claudia Chikamian. Thanks to our writer Matthew Feld and today's host Sam Corman. The next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow night as the Gatemen return home to host the Orleans Firebirds The game starts at 6:30, and the South Coast Health Gatemen Pregame Show will be posted before the game on YouTube. For Jacob Toby, I'm Connor Federico. Thanks for tuning in to this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Good night.